The Lunaverse, episode 5, I think. Old Friends by Grassy Clouds 2, Chapter 1, Repass. As the Friendship Express pulled into the train station, most of its passengers were already picking up their luggage, moving into the train's doors. However, one remained seated and motionless, even as the train began to slow down. It wasn't that this pony was staying on the line past Ponyville. That town was indeed this pony's destination, nor was this pony envying about their trip. At this particular pony wanted to reach Ponyville more than any other on the train. It was, rather, a sort of wariness that stopped this pony from rushing to the doors as it burst out of the train as soon as possible. The final step of the journey did not need to be taken with the same haste as all the rest. It had been a long road, the pony mused as the train slowed further, and all over Equestria, Russia, South Everfree, Yasagoina, Latigo, Panama, and Kerala, of course. With every kind of odds out there was, for clerk to journalist to spy. Spent time in the court. Now it's almost over. Long, slow breath hissed out of the pony's muzzle. One more job, then I'm going home at last. The train was now crawling towards the platform. The pony finally rose, taking a single piece of luggage, a plain, unassuming saddlebag, while doing so. How many ponies have I worked for? This time it's just me. No employer, no motivation, just righting a wrong. The train stopped at last, and the pony approached the exit to the nearest door, ignored by all the other passengers. My Cheerilee punch, I will have my revenge, and nothing I will stand in my way. The pony suddenly saw nothing but a pink face that was smiling brightly. You're the 44th pony and 1/4 pony to come to Ponyville today. What a fantastic pony! When the pony looked down, saw the platform, then back to the straight pony who was smiling so brightly. 1/4 was all the pony could think to say to that.
Yep, you're the first on the train, and 43 ponies got off before you, plus that stallion.
She pointed to a stallion who was indeed 1/4 out of the way of the train, barely having gotten that far before deciding he needed something from the saddlebag he was ready for. The crowd behind him began to grumble, to no avail.
So, you win a fabulous party. Let's go!
Cheered the pony.
Right this way!
But I have to get this revenge you.
That's right here. Time for party!
Piggy began to drag the other pony away.
There'll be cake, and pie, and ice cream, and sprinklers. Oh, and streamers. Lots of streamers.
And the pony was helpless to resist.
My little pony, my little pony. Ah, my little pony. Friendship never meant that much to me. My little pony. But you're all here now, I can see. Stormy weather, lots of show, a musical bond. With loving care, teaching laughter. It's an easy feat. Magic makes it all complete. You have my little ponies. How did I ever make so many true friends?
You're watching The Lunaverse, only on the Hub. Presented by Hasbro. Created by Warren Faust. And brought to you by Figma. Have you hugged your Figma today? Uh-oh, said Lyra, unhappy falls 3 o'clock. Trixie looked up from her hot chocolate. After talking with Twilight, she had spent a few days designing a new spell she could have fast and wide-ranging applications, at least so far as allowing ponies to sleep in for longer, which she wholeheartedly supported. Having finished, she was at Bonbons for her celebratory hot chocolate, but even the tantalizing treat couldn't keep her from peeping, helping to keep Ponyville's youngest residents happy. After all, helping others was part of what friendship was all about.
Ooh, which ones?
She asked, turning to the window. Looks like Skidaloo and Sweetbell, said Lyra. Over there by the town fountain.
And no worries, I'm on it.
That's a reason to worry, judged Bonbon. Trixie stuck out her tongue, tried out the door. The two folks were moving along in a jet-headed fashion.
I just don't know what to do,
asked Sweetbell.
Without her, nobody can answer a question.
We'll think of something, said Skidaloo.
If we had to, I'll scoot over to Camelot and find somebody else to answer it. Can't really skid to Camelot. It's up a mountain. Mountains aren't skiddable.
Skidaloo grinned. Want a bit?
Hi, girls,
said Trixie, trying up to them.
how you doing? Not good, name Trixie, said Sweet Belle. We have a really big question to ask you, but we don't know the answer. We don't know how to find the answer, so we don't know what to do. Trixie smiled. Well, she said, maybe I could help you.
The two foals looked at each other.
Hey, yeah, says Gulu. Sweet Belle, I bet Trixie can help us. Sweet Belle begins to ask, she's a knight. After all, she's got to be able to help. Well, of course I can help. Trixie grinned. So, what's your question? Where's Miss Cheerilee?
Both foals asked at once. Trixie blinked.
That's your question? No, says Gulu. We know where she is, so we can ask her our question. She's as smart as Ponyville, says Sweet Belle. Except for my sister, Everypony Dash. But she's not in our house. We can't find her anywhere. You can help us, Brian. You can find out where she is.
Trixie stared at him, almost like deflaying.
You know, maybe I can answer your question.
Both foals shook her head.
It's really a more Miss Cheerilee kind of question,
said Sweet Belle. What side? Trixie said.
Oh, I think she says you would be eating lunch at her sister's pop shop today.
The foals began to run off.
They say, Trixie, you're a big help.
Trixie watched them go. They returned to the candy shop.
Another hot chocolate,
she told Bonbon,
and with extra bourbon.
Trixie,
Trixie does not care. It's not true, insisted Apple Bloom, cigarette vehemently. I care about true. Oh, but it is, says Snips. The great power of snails. Snails eat it, converts it.
You can't call him that.
Why not?
Trixie trademarked it, said Featherweight. Snails frowned. Then I'm really the great and powerful Snails eating, and I can confirm it. Cheerilee trotted out to the scene, Skidoo and Sweet Belle right behind her. Over a dozen foals were gathered by the largest apple tree near the school playground. Most were standing, but Snails, wearing a large sallow Arabian turban, was sitting down, eyes closed and legs crossed. 2 piles of apples lay by near its hooves. He looked happy, but some of the other foals didn't.
Good morning, class,
said Cheerilee.
What's going on? Miss Cheerilee, said Apple Bloom. Snails say he can't talk to bugs and worms, and so us that apples have worms in them.
I can, Snails exclaimed, examining the first of 2 fresh apples. The tissue flew floated in front of him. Okay, this one's clear. He looked at the other apple, turbid almost falling down his eyes. Ah, this one has a worm.
Eek, said Twist, scampering to hype to Cheerilee. Is it a mean worm?
No, but it's a hungry one. It says it's going to eat the whole apple. Snails nodded. It's going to invite all its wormy little friends to eat apples too. Wait, his hooves. The worms will break free from the earth and swarm all over the town, eating the apples, and then...
No, they won't. My sister will keep them away, insisted Apple Bloom. Besides, you can't figure out which apples have worm in them. Nobody can do that. No, my sister, she knows all there is to know about apple deworming. He turned to Cheerilee. Ain't that right, Miss Cheerilee? It ain't possible to figure out which apples have worms in them by listening, is it?
Cheerilee watched the stare of the foals. She began to know which ones there were. Apple Bloom and her friend Twist, Skidoo and Sweet Belle, Snips and Snails, Diamond Tiara, Silver Spoon, Featherweight, now photographing snails, Bebop, now hanging 2 sticks together, and Alula.
All right, class, she said merrily. I think... Class?
Interrupted Snips, horrified expression crossing his face.
But it's the weekend! We can't have class! That's not fair! Might even be illegal.
Cheerilee looked down.
Well, maybe not illegal, but it's still not fair! My head's already full for the week!
He rapped on a few times.
But Snips, every day is a great opportunity to learn something new,
said Cheerilee, a face that smiled as her cutie mark. Isn't that right?
Uh-huh,
said Twist, now for her vantage point.
Yeah,
said Cheerilee, muscling the foals to close around the apple tree.
Snails made a claim that he could detect which apples have worms in them. How do you think you can test this claim?
The foals paused.
You can tell us if he's right or not, said Cheerilee
With a big smile on her face.
Ah, but then what would you do if I wasn't around?
Asked Cheerilee.
Don't you want to be able to solve these kind of problems yourself?
Cheerilee put a hook to her chin and started thoughtfully.
I don't know. Would it help me go as fast as Rainbow Dash?
Cheerilee reflected that there was a time when that answer would have seemed odd, but she worked with Ponyville foals for quite some time now.
No,
but it is good to have goals.
We could cut open an apple and check,
said Twist. More than one, said Featherweight, in case he gets really lucky with the first one. A very good idea, said Cheerilee. We could take a few apples and have snails predict that they have words, and test to see if they really do. If Snails is right, then maybe he can really detect apple words. If not, maybe he's hearing something else.
Like the voices in his head,
muttered Tiara. Cheerilee frowned at her. Diamond Tiara, that's not nice. Even if Snails is wrong, it doesn't make you crazy or a bad pony. Every pony makes mistakes sometimes. Asked Dinky, with just the right, and only heard her teacher's last few words. Cheerilee paused and thought back to her own days. Her college days. Alright, screamed the host. Now Thurster has set a new record for our little Bars Annual Cider Mania Challenge. The crowd screamed and applauded the brawny Earth Pony Stallion, who was wobbling a bit as he staggered out the stage. He managed to drink 9/10 of a keg of our pure, grade A, knock you on your flank cider. Thurster! 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 Screamed the crowd. Does anyone dare take his place on the record? Does anyone dare take a cool keg of cider?
I do.
The crowd gasped and turned to the magenta-coated pony with frazzled pink mane and a dozen piercings in various places. Cheerilee grinned as he swaggered towards the stray.
My name's Black Cheerilee Punch. I never met a pony I couldn't outdrink.
Whoa! Cried the host. Quite a boast! Well, ma'am, you know the drill. If you win this challenge and beat all the other contenders, you get a drink free every day this year. But if you lose, all you get's a nasty hangover.
Cheerilee grinned. I won't lose.
She hopped to the stage. Cider me! Black Cherry! Screamed the bar patrons as the host began passing mugs of cider, while she gulped one after the other.
Is this it?
She asked. Ha! This is weak stuff. I could probably drink 2 kegs. The host grinned. Oh yeah? Black Cherry! Black Cherry! Black Cherry! Shouted the crowd.
Yeah,
responded Cheerilee, wiping her mouth on the back of the keg. Seriously, this stuff is weak. By tomorrow, it wouldn't be affecting me at all. Whew! As it turned out, this was not true.
My head hurts.
Magenta-coated pony groaned. In retrospect, she thought maybe a full keg was a little much. Sure, it had been worth it, and she would get a free drink every night for a year. This would be a great pickup line with the mares and stallions on the quad, but it would be nice if the air stopped hitting her with magical invisible hammers. The door opened and Pony softly trotted in the room. Here, said a voice. A mug of something was set in front of her. Cheerilee gratefully drank the liquid, a sweet tea that mighty alleviated her nausea and hangover. Thanks. I wasn't interrupting your homework, was I? Yes, actually, said Cheerilee's roommate. She was a white-coated mare who smiled a little, spoke less, spent most of her time burying the books. She was so unobtrusive that Cheerilee sometimes forgot about her entirely, and she still wasn't quite sure of her name. Won't happen again. The magenta-coated pony managed. You said that last time. 3 days ago. There was a pause. And if I had a bit for every time you said that, I could fund a semester's tuition. I counted. But they offered me free cider if I won, protested Cheerilee. I couldn't resist that. Yes, because more cider is what you need. Cheerilee turned away, hoping her headache would subside. She still had an economics paper to finish and a math test to study for. Both would take at least a few hours. Embarrassing either of those would imperil her A average. Plus, she promised to help Hunky Hoof with his history project too. This time I mean it. No more drinking entire cakes in one sitting. She would have kept that promise too, but only since she get all her work done in record time. But the biggest bar in the neighborhood put on nose that night, offering a free set of frisbees to whoever could drink the most mugs of extra concentrated cider. It wasn't there, thought Cheerilee as she signed up. Sometimes the world was just too tempting. Cheerilee smiled. Even me, but that's a topic for another day. For now, class, let's check these apples. And be polite to each other too, please. David Tiara nodded sullenly, and then the other fools were hurrying around the street. The out-of-face snails claimed.
Go on, make a few predictions, said Sweetbell.
Snail put his host into the turban, and his ears to the apples. No worm, no worm, no worm, no worm, he said, pointing to foreign turn. We're all totally safe. I have spoken. Within moments, the apples were taken down and examined. Scoo and Bebop opened theirs up by stepping on them. Diamond Tiara opened her saddlebag and took out a shiny silver hammer and set several expensive-looking tools, which she used to break hers open without getting a single slightest bit missing. Sniff say his.
No worm,
said Scoo and Bebop at the same time. Instead, Diamond Tiara also failing to find a worm. Sniff's burp.
I didn't find a worm,
he announced. I might need to speak with his parents. Again. Cheerilee paused for a moment. All right, class. Does this seem like a good experiment to you? Yes, I sort of am right, cheered Snails. I can really protect worminess, he grinned. Maybe I could protect other things too. Maybe I'm psychic. Why? Said Apple Bloom.
Maybe all these apples in this tree have worms. Maybe I got lucky.
Chili smiled. Very good, Apple Bloom. When testing something like this, it's important to account for which choice, in this case worm or no worm, is more likely to begin with, or a priori. Do you know how many apples have worms on average, Apple Bloom? Apple Bloom scratched her face and thought,
well, science said about 8% for this kind of apple.
Her eyes widened.
Well, science, ain't like it just case no worms for all of them and be right now as a thing.
She turned back to Snails.
They just some have worms or I will believe you.
Wait, said Twist.
Maybe we could break the apples into two groups first and have them test them at random instead of letting them pick the useless ones. If she says she's hearing them, I could get some of Vile's mics to see if they make any sound,
said Bebop.
Maybe he's cheating and using magic, not listening,
said Silverspoon steadily. Snails, take your turban off. But without it, I lose all my really great and powerful powers. Cheerilee grinned as he watched her folks discussing scientific procedure and experimental setup. So he taught him a few basics weeks ago. It was wonderful to see them applying what she had discussed. Her foals were growing and learning. She had wonderful friends to share her achievements and classroom adventures with. Everything was going fine. All right, said Snails. Please give the really great and extraordinary Snailsy some space.
I thought you were the really great and powerful, said Sweetbell.
I'm both, said Snails. I'm the really great and powerful and really great and extraordinary Snailsy, and awesome, and... He turned to Cheerilee. Miss Cheerilee, what are some really great adjectives?
Dinky giggled. You bring some apples. You're really good. I bring some apples I know I cut for my mama later.
Cheerilee sat back and watched her students continue to work out the experiment. Yes, she thought life was good. You're right! You're right! Apple Bloom galloped towards the town square, a smile on her face as a big wagon trailing behind her. Been a wonderful day so far. Miss Cheerilee had helped her disprove snails and even called her smart and talented. School had been making fun of jokes, and Sweetbell had said they could all get some ice cream and toffee later. And even Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon were being nicer than usual. In fact, the day hadn't just been wonderful, it had almost been perfect. But one thing the day lacked, the one thing preventing it from being perfect, was a big glass of her sister's super sweet, super sugary, super duper delicious apple juice. Granted, cider might have been better, but then all the adults had gotten really silly for a few days drinking too much cider, so he didn't want to drink it anymore. That was why Apple Bloom was running towards the market, because she was thirsty, and so were her friends. It surely helped to figure out how much each pony would have to pay for a big mug of cider. So, Apple Bloom collected money and raced off in order to get a set of drinks for her sister.
Hi, does this money help us sell apples and apple excise authorities? Right, I'm helping Mouse Lacer and so check with Cheerilee with that warehouse guy.
As he raced towards the market, she had to dodge around the slower adults who weren't as good at getting out of her way. Fortunately, as a pony fool, she was quite capable of going left, right, and under the adults who took forever to get anywhere. Just get under Rarity's legs, and there were complaints about hooliganism or whatever that meant. Dodged around the flower sellers and old Mr. Weil, using a conveniently placed ramp to hop over Filthy Rich. There it was. Faithfully attended to by her big sister and big brother, Sweet Apple Acres farm stand was sold bright and bright. The best place in town to get the most delicious and nutritious food. In fact, they seemed to have a customer at the very moment. Everyone skidded to a halt just before she would have plowed into a pony. A white-coated mare with an eggshell-colored mane and tail, and a party hat on her head. She was speaking to her sister, who was smiling at her. Evelyn smiled too.
Another soon-to-be satisfied customer. Yay!
No, it's all me. I ain't never tried. What you called it? Pickled apple? Applejack looked at Big Macintosh. It seemed to be struggling a wide grin. Look, nothing, said Big Mac. The mayor put her salad bag on the counter, opening up. They're a most coast specialty. Would you like to try one? Everyone blinked. The mayor talked about it. She rolled her R's a lot. Gee, rolling the R's. Apple Bloom, I don't think you know of any pony who likes to roll her R's a lot or elongates her consonants. Nope, no. I don't think you know anybody like that.
Indeed. Trixie would think that would be quite annoying.
Their eyebrows were almost clipped.
Macy's furring. Like maybe my sister's talking to a furring princess or something.
Applejack looked over. Oh, more on Apple Bloom. You having fun with all your friends?
I'm having a blast, said Apple Bloom. We're learning all about the scientific method, said Green. Maybe I'll be a brilliant science one day. I'll be like Spurs Patron, but focus on apples.
Applejack grinned. You'll be a great scientist. Talia, this is my little sister, Apple Bloom. The mayor turned. She was smiling politely. There was something about her eyes. Her eyes looked serious and focused, like Twilight when she was learning a new spell. Or Truffle Shuffle when he found out at some point he influenced his cookie. Or Scootaloo when she saw a wall she hadn't climbed yet. The mayor bowed slightly. A pleasure to meet you. She said, my name is Natalia Rai. A string of syllables followed. There were a lot of R's and Z's, and Apple lost about letter 30. How could her name be that long? It wouldn't fit on her birth certificate. What about her test at school? She wondered if maybe Natalia got an extra paper to account for this difficulty. Introduce yourself, urged Applejack to Apple Bloom.
Oh, I'm Apple Bloom. Pleasure to meet you, Miss Miss Natalia, said Apple Bloom.
The pony nodded, amused. I also go by Natalia.
Oh, then I'm pleased to meet you, Norroy. Apple Bloom grinned. You got a party hat. Are you partying?
The pony glanced around nervously, as if expecting some party pony to ambush her from behind a tree. No, she removed the hat. I only have a few hours in Ponyville, and I cannot spend them partying. Apple Bloom smiled nicely as he could.
But you had time for apples, right? Well, awesome. Place in Equestria.
I have been in a lot of places in Equestria, said Ari, smiling a lot. But just as I was explaining to your sister, I brought someone for my trip. We eat apples differently in Moscow.
Well, maybe we can pirate space for you, said Apple Bloom. She looked at Applejack. There's never been an apple recipe my big sister could cook.
This recipe takes 40 days to prepare, said Ari. Apple Bloom's eyes widened as he wondered what kind of magical, delicious apple recipe would take 40 whole days.
Wow, that's a real long time.
Speaking counter host,
that's more than 5 weeks.
Nori chuckled. I have more than I need. I can let you have some. Apple Bloom turned to her sister.
Oh, can you try one? Please.
Oh, said Big Macintosh. I don't know, Apple Bloom. Moscow pickled apples are.
Hi, I'm gonna be a great apple scientist someday. I have to know all about them, right?
Urged Apple Bloom. Big Macintosh smiled, pulled. Nori took 3 apples out of her salad bag and gave each one to each member of the apple family. Applejack gave her a few in return. Could hardly simply go wares without offering some of mine. Was. Oh, I'm not an apple salesman. She paused. I'm actually between jobs at the moment.
What brings you to the timeline?
Asked Apple Bloom, sniffing an apple. It had a strong, vinegary scent. Just visiting an old friend. Ah, well, I'm sorry I couldn't help you find her, said Applejack. I know where her house is. Well, she ain't there. I don't know where she might be. Maybe her sister's? No, how's us there? Everyone picked in a pimple apple, and eyes widened. It was sour. It was like some pony had crossed an apple with a pickle. Which made sense once he thought about it.
How's your mind things?
Those really looked at her. You'll take an apple, coat it with a few herbs and spices. Applejack picked hers up and took a big bite. Then soak it in a vinegar mixture for 2 days, said Nori. Apple Bloom looked at the apple. The taste made sense then, I suppose.
Well, like Big Mac, stop snickering, that ain't nice.
Big Macintosh put a hoof over his mouth. He was unable to hide a smile. He finished his apple, it seemed. Sir?
Where do Miss Cheerilee's found them? Said Apple Bloom, wondered. She's been all over the world.
No, he started. Did you say? The accent sounded more pronounced, like a control of a voice slipped for a moment.
Yeah, she's my teacher, and she's the place there is. She's in the park. Her eyes wide. Oh, I bet she's the old friend you wanted to see. I could take you right to her, but she'd be thrilled to see you.
Nori bowed. Let go. Apple Bloom quickly put the bits in her tail and took a chunk of apple juice and hurried away from a big smile on her face. She was going to reunite her teacher with her friend. It's going to be wonderful. Don't you believe it?
Yes, so am I,
she called as he ran. Behind her, she heard Nori rushing to keep pace. Big Macintosh smiled as they ran off, and then turned to Applejack. Like was a pick of apples? Applejack was standing still, almost frozen. Jaw was large with bolts and face with pain. Oh, Applejack? Worst apple ever! Please! Applejack spat her bite out. Who put vinegar on a perfectly good apple? One died. The two were silent for a moment. Then Big Macintosh looked at her sister. Are you die?
Yes.
I'll finish yours, right? Nori's face was calm and impeccable as she hurried alongside Apple Bloom. She did not show any extreme emotion. She remained calm, rather, and blended in as she always did. On the inside, there was a fierce determination burning in her. I am wrapping up this loose end, she thought. Finish this today, Cheerilee. I'm coming for you. Her eyes narrowed slightly. That what you did to me so many years ago. At last, I will make it right. And
Say you,
say Apple Bloom, gesturing a hoof towards the hark.
What's you all sleeping Cheerilee for? Have you seen her in a while?
No.
Sounds a long time reunion.
Yes.
Awesome! Miss Cheerilee told me once to see an old friend makes for some of the best memories ever.
Yes, repeated Notary. This is going to be memorable. And nothing will stop me from seeing her.
Nothing?
Nothing.
What's that place attack?
Notary blinked. What? Apple Bloom can't stop right. Glad I saw.
What about Timberwolves? Or what if Phil Amelia comes back?
If we could keep going. The false bite seems to tracks.
Hey, what's happened Phil Amelia came back? Was he still Slayer? Or pirates? Well, we got attacked by pirates. Apple Bloom's mouth dropped. What's happened, pirates?
Notary blinked. This may be harder than I thought.
Well,
I wonder too. Aren't you all glad to be back to normal and away from Mikey? I told you this show wasn't always about riffing, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me?